Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, man? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's up, everyone in the chat, man? Rocket Andretti, I seen you real early, man. What's good with you, man? What's up, light skin business? Ralph, what's good? Chance, what's happening? Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. Oh, man, how's everybody week going? I hope everyone's having a great week so far. Um, we don't have any major. Well, we do have a major fight this weekend. Uh, well, I don't want to call it major, but Floyd Mayweather is going to be fighting Gotti the third again. I won't be here covering that fight. This is why I made it my business to come tonight and get on here. And I've been trying really hard to jump on one of these Probox live. This is my first one. Finally got on here, man, because they've been having some fun, well, some very very good fights on a platform. I currently have it on YouTube, but I have the app as well. So I don't believe we need the app to watch Probox. Okay. But I've been watching Probox for a minute. I don't watch it every single scheduled fight, but I try to watch it when I can. A lot of times I'm not available because it's usually on a Wednesday night. I believe they had it on a Friday night recently, but good fights, good quality fights, you know what I mean? A lot of uh former champions have been on here. You know, we got two former champions on here tonight. And Angelo Leo is the new champ. He's been fighting on Pro Box a couple of times, I believe. But I like Pro Box, man. I like the commentary, you know. I've always been a big fan of Paulie Malignaggi's boxing knowledge. And I like Chris Algieri as well. I think they're great commentators. Plus, they always have Sean Porter and Tim Bradley on there too. So I mean, I like Pro Box, but this will be my first time covering the actual card. Okay, it's not going to be a lot of people, not a major fight, but like I said, it's no important fights this week. You know, it's kind of like a week off. You know, we've been getting consecutive weeks of good fights. And since I won't be on here Saturday evening, I will, you know, I made it a priority to get on here tonight with you guys. All right. So again, shout out to everyone that's coming in. What's up, Jim Brown? What's good? And let's talk. What's up, Raul? What's good, man? Everything is good, man. Thank you guys for coming through. You know, I know it's not going to be a lot of people here tonight, but it's all good, yo. It's just even if it's only 10 of you on here, I wouldn't care. Oh man. Nah. This is not my man cave. This is actually a part of my living room. A part of my living room. Yeah. So Chance, give me a minute. You know, I'm definitely gonna talk about Shakur Stevenson and Cordina and some of the other boxing topics as we wait into the main event. So we're definitely gonna do a lot of boxing talk like we did last week. You know, it's not any real big names on the undercard or anything like that. You know, I feel like I've heard of Dominic V. He's the Puerto Rican fighter that's on the undercard. And I know I've seen Michael Angeletti fight before. But there's no standout names on the undercard, right? So I'll be chatting with you as I cover the fight live as well. I don't know about Shakur. Did Shakur actually duck Tank? I don't. Is that what's going on? Because was Tank an option? Like, did Tank want the fight? Like, what happened? I don't. I've seen a couple people saying that Shakur ducked the fight with Tank. Is that true? Like, where are we getting that from? You know, and I don't like the Cordina fight at all. I mean, the only thing I'm happy is that he's staying busy, but the quality of the opponent right now is not good. You know, you don't fight Joe Cordina after coming off of that loss to Kakachi. You know what I mean? It's just nah. At 122, it was cool when they were both champions. Not at 135 after he got coming off a knockout loss. But I don't know why are people saying. I don't know where people saying that Shakur ducked Tank. Where is the confirmation on that? I want to know. You know, because the only thing when it came to Tank, the only thing that I heard was Tank's coach saying that they didn't like the style of Shakur because he's a born fighter and they felt that he was going to run and stuff like that. But that's all I've heard, like officially. I haven't heard any official confirmation like that Tank or Shakur ducked Tank. You know what I mean? What I do know is that Lomachenko said he was going to fight next year. Okay. I also know that William Zepeda, that fight is not working out because Golden Boy doesn't seem to want to make that fight, even though Zepeda is a mandatory. So those are things that have come out officially. Like I haven't heard anything official. I've heard Oscar speak on a fight with Shakur. I've heard Lomachenko directly say, like, yo, I'm not fighting for the rest of the year. So where's the news with Shakur ducking Tank coming from? I just want to know. So I don't know. I don't know. And look, there's still other people out there. All right. So again, I'm not happy with the fight with Cordina at all. Like I said, Joe is coming off a knockout loss. I know he's going to be, looking for a new trainer for this fight. But outside of that, I just think this is super random. The way I'm looking at it is like he's doing this one fight deal with Eddie, and Joe fights with Matchroom. So I guess Eddie was just trying to get someone in there just to get Shakur busy. But I don't know why this fight is happening. I really don't know why it's him. Was there no one else? That I don't know. What's up with Oscar Duarte? Like, was he available? I know he fights with Golden Boy. That would have been a better fight. Raymond Moritalia would have been a better fight. Mark Chamberlain would have been a better fight. I'm just Edwin De Los Santos rematch, which is what I said before, would have been a better fight. Even though the fight wasn't good, Shakur would have the opportunity to redeem that terrible fight, and if his hand was indeed broken and he had some kind of fracture or injury, which took away from his performance that night, I would have taken a rematch over taking a Joe Cordina fight, Like I said recently on the William Zepeda video that I did with Shakur, I think that, and this, I'm gonna just talk to you. If y'all cool with me just talking boxing right now, or do you want me to cover this fight right now? Because I'm not familiar with the two, and it doesn't look like there's much going on with this matchup. Ivan Dyko is fighting a guy that doesn't look really good. So if you guys want me to cover the fight, I will. But as far as boxing talk, I just think that there was so much, and I'm gonna do a video on this because I want people to know how I feel about this. I just don't think that Eddie could have pulled something. If you're gonna have a one-off, they could have pulled something better than this, It's supposed to be on the undercard of Arthur Beterbiev against Dmitry Bivol. Is Eddie just feeding Shakur an opponent to look good against and possibly get a knockout, since he just lost to a fighter that just got knocked out? And that's what I think. And this is what I was going to say in the video that I did. I think the plan here is feed Shakur Joe Cordina, who's moving up to 135. Someone that just got stopped by a fighter that is not considered a puncher. If Kachi can knock out Joe, I'm thinking Eddie and them believe that Shakur can knock him out as well. You know, Eddie is, you know, everything is a plan behind everything. You know, and I believe that Eddie putting him in there with this guy is to make Shakur look good. You know, and if he's going to continue working with Shakur in the future, at least put him in there with someone that he can possibly stop. And I think that's the plan behind this matchup. Put him in there with someone that he can stop. All right, because he just been stopped. I think it's pretty desperate. And I don't think it's really gonna work. But let me say this: you're as good as your last performance. And people that are not diehard fans are gonna look. If let's just say Shakur goes in there and blows away Joe Cordina. Let's just say, I'm not saying he will, but let's say he goes into the fight and he stops him within 6 rounds, right? People are gonna say, like, yo, there, you know, that's what we've been looking for. That's what we've been looking for, you know, especially like the casual fans. They're gonna be like, yo, we've been waiting for you to do something like this. We've been waiting for this kind of performance. And a lot of people are not gonna realize that he just knocked out Joe Cordina, coming off a knockout loss. Now, I know he's a former champion, and I know just a year ago, this would have been, you know, maybe like a year ago, but maybe like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, this would have been a proper fight because they were both champs at 122. I'm sorry, 130, and they were both undefeated. But right now, and let's also say this: Joe Cordina wasn't going to fight Shakur at 130. I mean, that fight was not happening. You know, this was a fight that we were talking about back then. You know, so at the end of the day, it wasn't going to happen then. These are the only circumstances that it's going to happen. It is on another Riyadh season type of card. I'm sure they're getting paid. I'm sure Joe is probably getting paid his highest purse. I'm just going to assume that. I mean, it's the co-main event. I'm assuming he is getting paid his highest purse, and he's just getting fed by Eddie Hearn to get knocked out by Shakur Stevenson. You know, so again, I know you guys are going to be like, it's just Cordina. But the one thing I learned about boxing fans many years ago is that it doesn't matter who you're fighting. If you get a knockout coming off a poor performance, they're not going to care about the quality of the opponent. They're going to say, well, you're back. You look great. You look back. You look like you know. And you know, what's weird is because just last summer, Shakur had knocked out Yoshino in Jersey because I was there, you know, and it was, you know, Shakur was buzzing. Like, everybody was hyped out about it, you know, like he's had his moments where people said he was boring. But when he stopped Yoshino out in Jersey, people were hyped behind it, you know, because I knew Shakur was going to win. I didn't expect him to knock him out, though. You know what I mean? But he knocked him out. And even Yoshino, to be honest, I think that was a better quality opponent at the time that Shakur faced him. I think Joe right now, and I know he's only had one loss, okay, but it's the way that he lost. It's who he lost to that makes it kind of rough. And it's super random. Like, no one, there's zero people on the planet. No one was saying, like, yo, I want to see Shakur against Joe Cordina at 135 next. There's not one person that asked for this fight, you know? So, again, at the end of the day, I think Shakur has tried to stop fighters. I think he really, really tried to stop Haratunian in his last fight. He just couldn't get it done. You know, Haratunian was just too tough. And it sucks because if the Haratunian fight and performance was coming off the Yoshino win, I don't think it would have been so bad. The fact that he was coming off the Edwin De Los Santos fight, which was probably the worst fight of the year, I think that really like killed this buzz. And then when I started seeing like all these guys like with Cam and Jay Prince, and not just the boxing community. The boxing community was already all over it, Twitter, all of that. But once like it started getting to the outside world, that Shakur Stevenson is a boring fighter, that's what made it really like bigger than what it was. And then you got all these other boxers that like Andre Berta, him going back and forth with like 20 boxers on Twitter made it even worse. You know what I mean? I think I get it. Like, I think it's one thing to have people against you, because when you go on social media and you start battling people on social media, I think it's definitely going to create conversation about you, but it's going to make you that person that people are going to want to lose now. Like, you became that person that people hate you now because they want you to lose, because you're just going on social media yelling at everyone that criticizes you. And I don't know. For me, I would have just been like, I'm not Shakur, but for me, it's like, listen, I try to get the job done. I try to get the knockout. It is what it is. It just didn't come through that night. I try to get it done. I'm trying to put on a show for the fans, and I couldn't get it done. And I think that's not Shakur. He's not going to be humble about it. He's going to sit here and argue with every single person individually that criticized him. He's going to read all the tweets. He's going to read all the comments, and he's going to battle the world on social media, and that's it, and it is what it is, If I didn't have a really great performance, it's one thing to say things that people may not like, but to continuously do it every day, like for 2 weeks straight, there was a battle with a whole bunch of people in Shakur Stevenson. Where other people underperform, they say what they have to say, and then they keep it moving. And we may not hear anything from them until the next time they have a fight schedule. It might be that next press conference where they're answering questions about their last performance. You know what I mean? Yeah, Chance, I agree. What's up, Clarence? What's good? Gio, what's up? I see you. I agree with you, Chance. I said this before. When he was fighting Haratunian, I said he should run it back with Edwin De Los Santos. And I get it. Some people were making good points. Like, people were saying, like, who's going to want to promote that fight? Who's going to purchase tickets to watch that fight again? So from that standpoint, from that angle, I can see why they didn't make the fight happen again. Because what we don't want, we already had a snooze fest. What we don't want is to have a second one, and from a business promoter angle, who's going to go out and want to buy tickets to a rematch of a terrible fight? Because not only didn't Shakur really engage in that fight, but Edwin didn't neither. So yeah, the fight will probably be better the second go around, but who wants to risk that as like a promoter? Who wants to take that risk? You know what I mean? So that's how I view that. All right. All right. First fight is done. We got an early stoppage in the first fight, which we should have, because that guy that Craig Lewis was fighting was horrible. His second round stoppage. So we go on to the next fight. Who's this guy? How you pronounce this guy's name? Kevin. Piedrahita. All right, Kevin. We just gonna call him Kevin. All right. He's gonna be fighting Dominic V from Puerto Rico. What's funny? I don't know if you guys go to fights at all. To be honest, These are the fights. Like if you guys are watching this, it's a very small crowd. Everything is blacked out. These are the fights that I actually enjoy going to. I like the smaller fights. I went to a good amount of smaller fights before I started going to the bigger fights. Like I started out going to whoa, there's a huge height advantage between these two. Valle is much taller than his opponent. Much taller. I mean, I like going to these kind of fights. You know, you hear every punch. You have great views, no matter where you're sitting. You don't have to get ringside seats, but if you do get ringside seats, which I normally try to do in these kind of fights, you're not paying crazy amount of money, you know. All right, so Kevin is pushing Valle. Valle is on the back foot so far. Kevin's putting a lot of pressure on him. Getting low, shooting a jab to the body. Lots of jabs coming from Kevin to the body so far. Valle is being very calm, relaxed, landed a good amount of jabs up top so far. Nice right to the body landed by Valle. Very controlled though. I mean, he's very relaxed. Good uppercut. Good uppercut from Valle. Good uppercut. Caught him, timed him perfectly. Buzzed him a little bit. He just shot an uppercut with the lead hand. A little bit off balance there. He's already Kevin is already pretty red in the face very early in this round, halfway through the round now. You know, I'm not Puerto Rican at all, but historically, I liked many of them, especially being from New York, because Puerto Rican fighters have been celebrated big time in New York my whole life. Right. Since at least from what I remember, I grew up being a Hector Camacho fan just because he was from East Harlem, and big fan growing up. Loved the costumes. Uh, just like he was always with the bunch of girls and stuff. You know what I mean? I was always into Hector Camacho when I was a kid because I used to watch his fights just to see what costume he was going to show up in. And then we, of course, we got the Tito's and the Miguel Cottos after him. But the one thing that made me like the Puerto Rican fighters so much is because of the parade. The parade was always a big thing in New York, especially if you were younger. You would go, we used to go. I used to go with my boy. We used to try to just give numbers. Just try to talk to as many girls as we could when we was young. And it was always a big thing in New York, and I haven't felt that since Miguel Cotto retired. Miguel Cotto, Tito Trinidad, they used to be on a Puerto Rican float every year. It was always good, and not seeing that is kind of whack. So I always, every once in a while, like when there's a Puerto Rican fighter that's on the come up, I kind of hope that they, become big, but it just hasn't happened in a long time. You know what I mean? Yeah, I seen Camacho's comment. I seen it. I actually didn't see that comment until to YouTube, or was it the documentary in the YouTube? Back then I used to like, that's another thing, man. I didn't see that. And by the time I seen it, it's like me hearing Hulk Hogan. in his racist rant. It just didn't. I was like kind of numb to it, you know, because this is somebody that I watched as a kid. I didn't know he said that. You know what I mean? I didn't watch it live. Now I might have felt the way if I had watched it live, like listening to Ryan Garcia recently. You know what I mean? But watching it a few years ago for the first time, it's like, yeah, that's messed up. He said that, but I'm talking about history and me growing up liking a fighter. You know what I mean? And that's it. Same thing with like Hulk Hogan. It's like Hulk Hogan was like a god to me when I was a kid. So when I heard him rant, it was just like, damn. I was like, damn, like, can't believe he said that. But I'm a grown man listening to him say it, as opposed to a kid saying it. Berlanga says the N word because every Puerto Rican and Dominican in New York says the N word. That's everybody in New York, bro. That's everybody. That's everybody. So I'm not like offended by that. All right. This fight has been a pretty good round, this second round here, because this is a real phone booth fight here. And these guys are going at it. Lavalle is definitely in control still. And I think he's gonna take this dude out. I think he's gonna take him out soon. The amount of bump that Kevin has on his back and his chest is pretty disgusting to look at. Can't ignore it. Valle is really starting to open up here. 30 seconds left in the second round. And you start to see the swelling and the reddening on Kevin's face here. He's getting busted up pretty bad. Yeah, Fernando Vargas. Those big fights, he lost a majority of them. So I feel like he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But I mean, his fights were like classics, bro. They were all good. All of them. You know what I mean? He lost the majority of them, but they were some good fights, man. That was a good time. That welterweight, era, like, that welterweight or 154 ever was good because Vargas had fought um he had fought Tito, he had fought Oscar, of course, Shane a couple times, and he fought Mayorga. Mayorga is another guy too that he doesn't, because he lost a majority of those big fights, but he doesn't get the credit because he lost, but he was dope. He was dope. He was what the sport needed at the time, bro. Mayorga, Vargas, those guys were dope. They weren't as successful as Oscar and Tito and Shane Mosley, everybody that was fighting around the same time. But they were dope. What's up, Pepino? What's good? Strong Blaze, what's good, bro? I like, you know what? I like Ricardo Mayorga, yo. I like them because it just got to a point where you just didn't know what he was gonna do. You just didn't know what he was gonna do. You just waiting for something to turn up, you know. You was just waiting for him to turn up. This guy is really like putting a lot of pressure on Valdez still, but he's smothering his own punches at the same time. You know, he's getting so close that he's trying to just show a lot of heart. And this is an 8-round fight. He's showing a lot of heart by coming in. But the thing is, as many punches as he's throwing, he's smothering his own punches and he's just trying to avoid getting hit. And this is why he's getting in so close. Because outside, he's too short, doesn't have a long reach. Nice right hand from Valdez. Valdez still looks very relaxed here. We got just over a minute left in the third round. And Valdez is still fighting with a lot of just control, man. He's just, you know, whenever they are separated, he's popping that jab and he's catching them with some clean right hands on the way in. I would like to see, you know, if Valdez got to keep that right hand up, though. I would like to see him move a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, because when he's mid-range, long range, he's picking this guy apart. He's picking him a nice short right hand from Valdez 30 seconds ago. He's picking him apart. But once this guy get on the inside, just makes it an ugly fight, you know? What division is this fight in? This is okay, it's at 130. All right, so they're in super featherweight here. Good uppercut from Kevin to end this round. Valdez is 3-0 though. It's 3-0. Do I think Floyd duck Winky? No, not really. The thing with Floyd is, again, like there's a million people that want him to fight that he didn't fight. He couldn't fight everyone. You know, I think if he had fought Winky, it would have been one of his tougher fights for sure. But again, you know, that goes the same with, you know, Paul Williams and Antonio Margarito. Like we could go on forever talking about fighters that Floyd should have fought. You know, I wanted him to fight hard. I wanted him to fight a lot of people that he didn't fight. You know what I mean? He fought who he fought. He had a great resume. I think he's one of the greats. And that's it. This fight stat we just didn't get, you know? Stylistically, though, I think there are people that would have been more difficult for him to beat that he didn't fight. But he did fight some really good people. You know what I mean? He did. He fought a lot of good people. Some of them he wanted to fight with them, you know, especially earlier in his career. Because early in his career, he was looking and targeting most of these guys, you know. Outside of 140, you know, where there was Costa, that's another fighter that I wish he had fought. He targeted a lot of guys, you know, like Shane Mosley, you know. We were talking about that the other day. You know, but just because he didn't fight him doesn't mean that he would have won or Winky would have won. Lai is bleeding from the nose in his fourth round. He got caught with a few good shots here. He's bleeding, but he's still in control here. I don't know if he can put this guy down. He's been hitting this guy, and this guy's tough. He's fighting. This guy got any knockout losses? Yeah, he has 2 losses, but no knockout. He hasn't been stopped yet. He has 9 wins with 8 KO. So I mean, he can punch. But Valdez letting his hands go a lot more here now that his nose is bloodied up in this fourth round, halfway through the fourth round. He is just letting go now. Like he is throwing a lot of punches. And I think at this point he's trying to stop him. But you know, I didn't even get to guys about the main event yet. We've been talking about Shakur. And we've been talking about like all this other stuff. Both of these guys are coming back and they're going to fight at 160 tonight. And to be honest, I think it's a good fight simply because it was a fight, and they're fighting a little bit over 160. But it would have been a good fight, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when they were both at the top of the division at 154. Um, Jarrett Hurd had a nice run for a little bit. He had beat Frank Galarza, beat Oscar Molina, Jojo Dan. He beat him. He went on to stop Tony Harrison, who was beating him. Had a good fight with Austin Trout. I think he was the only person to stop Austin Trout. All right. And then he ran into Lara, which to me kind of ended his career in a way, because he hasn't been the same. And he beat Lara. He stopped Jason Wellborn in the next fight. But when he fought J-Rock, he was a heavy favorite to win. I remember doing a breakdown of that fight. And I slept on J-Rock, and I don't normally do that, but listen, it was for good reason. J-Rock, for a while, he got stopped by Jamal Charlo. I know he never really had a great chin. But I always thought he was mega, like, super talented. And I slept with him, and he went in there hungry. He fought hard. Jarrett Hurd was just getting knocked around. He got dropped, and he was just getting dominated throughout the whole fight. And J-Rock beats him, but then he loses to Jeison Rosario in the very next fight. And this is what led us to this fight. And Jeison Rosario's run was very short, though. I think Jeison had beaten J-Rock, and he went right into the Jamel Charlo fight, which is where he got stopped with that weird belly shot, right? You guys remember that when he was like, I think Jamel Charlo jabbed him, and this guy went on the ground. He was flopping on the floor like a fish. Like, it was weird. And then that was pretty much it for Jeison. He didn't have any relevant fights after that. He got stopped by Erickson Lubin the very next fight. He put on he got a few KO wins after that against some journeymen. And then he got destroyed by Brian Mendoza. And that what led to his retirement. Those guys, he retired. He came back last year, took a tune-up fight. And now we're getting a fight with him and Jarrett Hurd almost a year later. And listen, I'm glad these guys is getting a check. But as far as relevance, even if they, even one of them is going to win, and I think it's going to be Jarrett Hurd. And the reason why I say it's going to be Jarrett Hurd is because even Hurd with his losses, he's lost durability, but he's always been a more durable fighter than Jeison Rosario. Jeison has been stopped 4 times, and he's lost all 4 fights. He's got stopped. Jarrett Hurd, to me, I think he's naturally a little bigger. And I think he's just more durable, and even though he's been stopped, I don't think I think he is still much stronger. I think he's overall a better boxer too. I think this former champion against former champion, I get it. Neither of these guys are old, Jeison is 29 now. He was very young before when he picked up that title. All right. He was like in his younger 20s. Hurd is 33 now. But at the time when he was having a lot of success, he was in his mid-20s. So with that being said, I got Hurd, man. I think Hurd is just going to overwhelm him. And Jeison is just, he's not going to be able to take enough punishment to me. I got Hurd winning and stopping. Again, they're both past it, so anything can happen. Hurd did get stopped. He did come back like with Jeison Rosario. They came back last year. picked up a win, but it was a tune-up fight. I remember watching the Jose Resendez fight, and the fight started pretty good. Started off really competitive, but once Resendez got it going, he went on and pushed Jarrett Hurd and stopped him late, man. I mean, that was a beating. The second half of that fight was a beating, man. But then he got stopped by Elijah Garcia, which was a war. I think that was on the undercard of some card that I was doing. I did that fight live. Yeah, he got stopped, but you know, Elijah Garcia, the last time I seen him, he lost to Kyron Davis. That was another fight we was on. He was on an undercard or something. And we were here live, and I was actually surprised he lost that fight. All right, what's up, DJ Rush? What's good with you, man? Says it might be an unpopular unpopular decision, but when Shakur versus Zepeda fight takes place, I'm choosing Zepeda. I don't believe Shakur has the respectable punch power to keep Zepeda off him the whole fight. And that's not an unpopular opinion. That's the only other option. Is either Shakur is going to neutralize him and outbox him, or Zepeda is just going to walk through him and overwhelm him with violence. And even if Shakur is not getting hit a lot, he could still lose the fight to the judges if they don't feel like he's doing enough. So even if he's not getting hit much, if he's not letting his hands go enough, and Zepeda is able to like cut off the ring pretty good and stay in there with him and keep the volume high, remember that can get him a decision. You know, Lara in the fight with Canelo didn't get hit much. He barely got hit in the head at all in that fight, barely. But Canelo, just being the aggressor and attacking the body, won him that fight. You know, and it's much harder to defend to the body. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it is a tough fight, but this is why I said in my video recently that the fight would be a great fight to have, because this would force Shakur to fight an aggressive fighter. You know, it's one thing you say that Shakur's fights are boring, right? This fight is seen to turn or take a turn here. Let me just, I'll get back to that in a second. From what I've seen, you know, and I'm done talking to you guys, Valdez is still winning the fight, but he's getting pushed back some here. And I don't think he's going to get this guy out of there. You know, this guy is just, he's not respecting his power. And Valdez is still winning, but he's getting hit a lot more in this round. But it's almost coming to a close. We are ending, got 30 seconds left in the 6th round. No knockdowns. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about Shakur. Shakur and Zepeda is the perfect fight for both. Both win in that fight. And what I mean by that is that it's a great opportunity for Zepeda. He will get the opportunity not to win, just win a title, but he can get the opportunity of possibly exposing Shakur. Like, for the people that don't think Shakur is that good, for the people that think he's overrated all this time, this is what I hear. People say he's overrated. People don't say he's boring. People say that he doesn't have a chin. He doesn't have any punching power. Well, Zepeda, hey, can throw 200 punches around. We've seen it. So it's a perfect opportunity for Zepeda, but it's also a great opportunity for Shakur, because when he's boring, he's still neutralizing his opponent, which makes it boring because his opponent is not being aggressive neither. But now he's going to be fighting someone that's going to be aggressive. And styles matchup clashes well, because Shakur is more of a, you know, precise puncher. You know, he's not a high volume guy. So I think it's a perfect match. And I'm pissed off that Golden Boy, or Team Cepeda is not allowing the fight to happen, especially with the amount of talking that they're doing, especially with Oscar. Cepeda has said that he wants to fight. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's Oscar. I don't know who to blame, but if you're not taking on a fight, it's a duck. And it was a duck last year as well. So we could say whatever we want about Shakur not fighting Tank or Cordina or, any other fighter's name that's Lomachenko. Like, Loma's sitting around waiting for what? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a Tank fight? That's what I think he's waiting for. You and everybody else in the lightweight division. If Tank doesn't choose you, what are you going to do? You're getting older. What are you waiting for? You're pushing 40, bro. Like, what are you going to do? Oh, I think Shakur is going to win against Cepeda. But I'm trying to explain to you guys why I think the fight should happen. I think the fight should happen. But we got to ask Oscar, why is he not pushing to make that fight? Especially if Cepeda is a mandatory. Why are you not making a fight? Are you going to try to take the Baranchik fight? Why? Because that's an easier fight and it's an easier title to pick up, and at least you will make a unification against Shakur Stevenson if you have to fight him. Is that the reason why? Let's just all admit, like, Baranchik is a good fighter, but he's the weakest link at 135 right now. He is. He's the weakest link. He's a good fighter, but he's not necessarily dangerous. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. All I know is that, for me at least, it's too many good fights that's going down to sit here and just nag about who's ducking who. It's too many good fights going on. I really don't care, I really don't care. Good round, man. Good 7th round. Oh, they are both landing trading here, and they landed some bombs in the 7th round. Next round is the last round. This guy got a lot. He's landing some bombs on Valle now. Oh, I think he got buzzed by that one. Best round in the fight. Yeah, Valle is definitely not getting him out of here. He's probably won every round, but let me tell you something. This guy, Kevin, definitely buzzed him in that last punch he connected with. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, this way too many fights, too many good fights for me to care about these guys that's not fighting each other. That card is good though. I think the outside of better be a first of all, I just hope, and then you guys go, I'm not trying to put any bad luck on a fight, but whenever there's a better be a fight, I just hope it actually happens. Better be if is super injury prone. He has an injury between every fight. People are speculating if he's juicing. I'm not going there with that. You guys know I don't really normally go there with who I think is juicing, who I think isn't. But I just hope that Better Beef and Bivol happens, man, and this guy stays healthy, bro. That's all I care about, man. But the fight that's on the undercard that I care for the most is Fabio Worthy against Frazier Clark 2. That fight was a classic. That was a phenomenal fight. All right. I went there live. Didn't think nothing of it. Just wanted to go to the UK, wanted to watch a fight. Picked up tickets. and just went out there. And this round is this round is really good, y'all. Yo, I don't know if y'all watching this fight. Never. This is a good round, man. This is continuing off where the 7th round left off at. Oh, Kevin landed a huge overhand right. And Valdez in the corner. He lands a short right hand. This got good. This fight got really good, y'all. This last round, 1 minute to go. This guy has just been punishing Valdez in the last couple of rounds. Yeah, Valdez on the back foot now, man. He needs to hang on and survive. 40 seconds to go. Another overhand right lands. I think he needs to tie up just to play it safe. I know he's showing heart by throwing back, but you don't want to lose the fight in the very last round, bro. Because he's clearly being affected by these punches. He's losing this round. Kevin's winning this round. Yeah, this guy, we'll see this guy in the ring again with somebody. We'll see him again with somebody. He showed a lot of heart. Good fight. Good fight. Good fight. Turkey, nah, I'm too old to pursue a boxing career, bro. My boxing career is right here on YouTube, buddy. Yeah, I'm good. Right here. I'm just a boxing fan that just want to talk boxing, bro. Good fight. Oh no, no. As my youth, I was well into martial art. I boxed, but not like as an amateur and stuff. No, no. Martial arts, all the way up until just all the way up to high school. You know, I competed, started at 4. You know, my dad was a teacher. You know, he's been on here talking about it, and I don't talk much about it, but boxing, no, I wish my dad had me in boxing because I was a boxing fan, you know. I wish he did, but nah. Nah, but you know what? I think when I started YouTube, I kind of wanted to be a promoter, like, you know, but you know, to be honest, when I started, I knew about the politics, but I didn't follow it like that until I got into making content where I had to be well informed to make content. And it made me hate the sport. Like, you know, I do this because I still love the sport, you know, and I love you guys. I like being on here and having a good thing going. But I hate how ugly the sport is. You know, I just hate it. You know, I love everything. I like the fights, but I don't enjoy talking about the politics of it at all. You know, I do it because I have to. I know you guys are gonna ask me, but I don't enjoy the sport like that. Like, you know, I just don't. I don't. You know, I just want to see the fights, and that's it. You know, and once upon a time on this channel, all I did was just cover the fights. I did breakdowns and I did post fight recaps. And then that led to You know, I did old school videos. I did, you know, potential future fights. But I started making content on like the politics and who's ducking who and why fights didn't happen and failed drug tests. All that stuff, man. I started doing it because it was requested. But I hate it, dude. I still hate it now. I hate talking about purses. I hate talking about who ducked who and this other side of the street. I hate it. You know, good fight, y'all. We know who won the fight though, but it was a good fight. Oh, Kev could be juicing. Those bumps are crazy. I mentioned that earlier. That's what I was kind of leading to. Bumps are crazy, you know, but 78, 74. 79, 73 for two other judges. Yeah, we know who got that. Kev, come on, bro. You didn't win the fight. He's like, what happened? Bro, you didn't win the fight. You put on a great effort in the second half, but you didn't win. I hate when the fighters be like, all right, what happened? I won. You didn't win. He definitely won the last round to me. He might have even won the seventh, but you know. But you know, there was still a lot of things I did avoid. You know, I only made like one video on like the Glovegate situation. Like they didn't get me with everything. There's a lot of stuff that was just so nasty that I didn't want to get caught up in it. Even with Devin Haney and Ryan, I made like a recap video of the fight. You know, I told you how I felt about the drugs and you know the. I think I just made like one video. Like I made one video of the failed drug test, and then I made one video on the racist rant, and that's it. I can really eat off that stuff, and you know sometimes I'll be like, damn, do I gotta really gossip and talk about all of this stuff every day in order to get subscribers? Yeah, I do. Because I see everybody else do it, but I don't want to. You know, I don't want to be. I don't want to become that channel. I'd rather just talk about the fights. You know, I think that is more important to me. I can't keep talking about who's ducking who. You know, this guy said this on Twitter. I can't do it, man. It's just I don't even like. I'm not that kind of person, bro. If you guys knew me outside of this, I'm really like low key. I do not talking about. I don't like any drama. I don't like none of that stuff. I don't even like it with sports. Um, you know, I just want to see the fight and call the fight for what it is. All this tribalism and stuff, I think sometimes it's good for certain fights, you know. And I brought that up recently in one of the videos that I did. I forgot who I was talking about. Because the tribalism thing could be good. You know, and I said that. Oh, I was saying that when it came to Crawford, having Crawford against Virgil Ortiz and then having Shakur against Cepeda on the same card, like main event, co-main event. Excuse me. That would have been a great fight. You know, I think that would have been a great fight. And I think with all the tribalism with the Mexican American fans, let me say Mexican American, because a couple people left comments saying like Mexicans don't care about that stuff. I'm like, nah, not Mexicans from Mexico. I'm talking about the Americans, the guys from Texas, the guys from LA, you know, Cali, those guys. You know, I think that in the blacks in America, they would have cared about that stuff. But it just they were good quality fights. That would have been a good quality fight for both. Everybody wins there, you know. Um, but we didn't get it. We're not going to get it next. It doesn't look like we're going to get it next. Seems like Crawford's mind is still set on Canelo. Maybe it happens, you know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you know. Like Turkey could go on the internet and say, you know, anything, you know, whatever he wants on Twitter in reply to Canelo, and Canelo could say what he wants in the interview. But at the end of the day, like nothing was said to me, in my opinion, that made it where this it was so disrespectful that these guys can't do business in the future. You know, nothing was said that was super out of line to me. I think Turkey and Canelo and even Crawford may be able to work in the future. You know, people say I found your channel way back right before Kovalev and Canelo fight. They did Kovalev dirty and hit all the stipulations before the fight. Yeah, I mean, I believe there was a rehydration cup. I'm not sure. But regardless, the fight was like I think like within 2 months after Kovalev had just had that war with Yard, and just not a good time to go into a fight with Canelo, even though Canelo is moving up, and obviously Canelo's a cash cow, so Kovalev's going to jump on the opportunity, but going into the fight, it wasn't the best time. Yeah, he fought Yard on April or August 24th, and he fought Canelo in November 2nd. And he beat Yard, but he took a beating in that fight, right? He took a beating against Yard. I think we all can agree that Yard lost, but Kovalev was hurt multiple times in that fight. It was a really good fight. But Kovalev already had started showing his age here, and he had already lost to Alida Alvarez, and yeah, he came back and won on a rematch, but going to our fight with Canelo was just not a good, win. And you know what? I thought Kovalev was still going to win. I thought his jab and his reach and his length would win, and I thought he was winning the fight rounds. But once he got caught with a shot, he went down. A lot of people thought it was fake. It is what it is, man. Can't tell. It was a good shot from Canelo, put him down. That was it. It was a wrap. Well, the reason why I'm not pushing for Bud and Boots, is not that I didn't want it. I made it clear that I wanted that fight at 147. And I would love it if they were to make it at 154. But I believe that both fighters was pretty clear on their futures. Bud has said, I'm looking to be undisputed in the third division. Or he wants Canelo. Those are the two options that I've heard. And Boots has made it clear that he's moved on. He's moved forward. I don't think either one of them has been extremely consistent about taking that fight. Especially Boots when Crawford was at 147. I'm not really sure, based on interviews he had, his father had, I'm not sure how bad they wanted the fight. Both camps has been saying different things. Also, same thing with Virgil Ortiz, there was a time like he was saying he wanted the fight, just like William Zepeda right now with Shakur. But the WBO president has already made it clear that the fight was offered to them twice, and they turned it down. So, fans can go around saying what they want, but again, you got to look at consistency with the fighter. And if there's no consistency there, I'm not going to push like a narrative that's not true or that I can't prove. I'm not going to push that. Yeah, that last fight was pretty good. All right. We're moving on to the third fight in the co-main event. Michael Angeletti against Geraldo Valdez. I'm not familiar. I've seen Angeletti fight before, but I'm not like super following his career. I'm not familiar with Valdez. Maybe I could look him up real quick and see if he fought anyone. Dominican fighter. Um, he hasn't fought anyone that I'm like super familiar with or anything like that. He has one loss, a decision loss back in 2021 against a fighter that's 15-7 with 2 draws. So, um, I mean, I'm expecting Angeletti to. Has this guy been stopped before? And I'm talking about Valdez. Valdez, no, he's only had one decision loss. Um, see, Michael Angeletti is 11 wins, 7 by KO. He's only been around for he's been pro for since 2020, so he's only been pro for 4 years now. Going on 4 years. Yeah, Morrell against Yard is a good fight. Yard with any top guy at 175 is cool with me. Whether it's Buati, winner of Buati against Hutchinson, or who else is out there for Yard? The way Yard moves is that he kind of takes the journeyman between the big fights. He doesn't really do much in between. You know what I mean? If we keep it at 100, and I'm a big Anthony Yard fan, I literally flew out there to watch a fight. I like Yard a lot, but let's be real. Like, before he fought Kovalev, he didn't fight anyone good. He fought Lyndon Arthur, solid fight. Um, Good fight, but outside Arthur, Beterbiev, and it's Kovalev, those fights in betweens are just like warm-up fights. You know what I mean? I think Yard is the kind of guy, like, things got to be right. Like, the money got to be really good for him, because I believe he got paid a lot for that Kovalev fight. And, once you get a big purse, man, it's hard for you to take. He's probably going to take fights to stay sharp in between fights. But unless they call him with something that he thinks is worth it, he's not going to deal with it, man. I would love for him to even fight like even a Callum Smith, Dave Morrell, Benavidez. All those fights are good. All those fights is good, but Yard kind of chills until he gets a fight that he thinks is worth it. I mean, listen, I don't think he's scared because if you fighting Kovalev and Beterbiev, you don't fight Beterbiev if you're scared. You know what I mean? You just don't. Beterbiev is probably one of the best KO artists in all the sport, probably like a top 3 guy. So with that being said, I don't know who's going to be the next opponent, but I hope he gets back in the ring soon because there definitely I feel like there's gaps in between his fights sometimes. All right, so we're in round 1 against we got Valdez against Angelina, and it's definitely a height reach disadvantage here for Valdez. But he's found ways and getting in range. Yeah, he hasn't landed anything like great or anything, but Angeletti is doing his best to stay out of range and keep him on the end of the jab there. But he hasn't landed anything big yet, neither. Kind of a slow round. Valdez is leading a lot with the left hook. He actually just landed one a moment ago. And he's being really physical on the inside. Not sure if Angeletti looks comfortable on the inside. Doesn't look that comfortable on the inside so far. Nice jabs to the body from Angeletti. 20 seconds to go in the first round. You know, Valdez has got like so far in this first round, you know, got a, like kind of like a Sean Porter style. You know, he's changing levels a lot. He's been closing distance pretty quickly. You know, his legs are pretty quick, so he's been closing distance pretty quickly and being really rough and physical on the inside. You know, not a great round for either because not many clean shots connected from either. Just a filling out round for me. What's up, Low Clarity? Yeah, he probably just filling them out in the first round. Maybe we'll see a change in a second. Who do you guys got for the fight tonight? I didn't see too many people giving their picks. Who you guys got? You know, these guys, some former champions, you know, took some tough losses. Hurd and Banana. Jeison Rosario. Who do you guys got for this fight? I think Hurd is gonna stop him. I think Hurd is gonna get it done. I think he's gonna get it done. Nice lead left hook lands for Valdez. And now fight is getting really rough. I think Angeletti did not like that he landed that shot and threw a flurry instantly after that. Very aggressive stuff. Angeletti got to relax. You know, it's like the last fight with Valier. Valier was being, you know, Kevin was being the aggressor here, but Valier was a lot more in control. Like he was just relaxed. I mean, things got heavy at the end of the fight, but Angeletti just needs to control distance here and stop. This is the fight he don't want. He doesn't want it to be a wrestling match / brawl. Because this is Valdez. Valdez is doing better here in the second round so far. The infighting belongs to Valdez to me, at least for now. Still early. Valdez give me Sean Porter vibes. A little bit. Oh, hooks to the body. Valdez is really digging to the body here. One of those shots was low, though. Ref didn't say anything. Overhand right from Valdez. Some of these punches, Angeletti is definitely turning and rolling. But, oh, good sharp right hand lands through the guard of Angeletti. Valdez is definitely winning this round. Angeletti needs some space, man. You got to create some space, man. This is not the kind of fight for him. This guy is rough, man. This guy's like on some Pitbull Cruise shit, man. He's not playing around. See, Valdez, when there's some space and he's lunging in, throwing wide hooks like that, that's when Angeletti needs to make him pay. And he hasn't really yet. He hasn't really yet, but those are the moments where he needs to capitalize and catch him lunging in like that, leaving himself totally open. All right, what are your predictions? Philly says Hurd by KO. Chance says he got Hurd, but the loser is done. The Brown says, Paulie, where's my side piece, Malinaji? I'm still like in the middle with Better BF and Bivol. I keep changing my pick. Right, but the last time I said it was Better BF. Low Clarity says Angeletti is rattled. His corner needs to tell him to chill out. I agree. He needs to relax and fight his fight. and box smart. He hasn't been doing that to me, in my opinion. Not so far. We're in the third round. First round filling out round for both, but the second round was definitely Valdez round for me. Valdez opens up the third round, throwing 2 right hands to the body. Come on, Angeletti says stop with the ref complaining. Ref is it's not gonna help you here. This guy's coming in. He's increasing his volume now in this third round. He just landed 2 jabs to the body. Not sure where Angeletti is going with this. Nice right to the body from Angeletti. Good combination on the inside there. But half of this is wrestling so far. I'm surprised that the referee hasn't said anything about Angeletti leaning on his back and pushing his head down. You know, I mean, I understand it. Strategically, I understand it, but he's been doing a nice hook to the body from Valdez. He's doing a little too much. Too much. Did Boots fight Algieri? Did he? I can't remember. I feel like he did, but did he? He fought Conor Ben fought Algieri. I can't remember. I know Boots fought the other guy that Errol fought. I can't remember. I don't think Boots fought Algieri. Nah, I don't think he did. I'm bugging. I'm not gonna look it up right now though. I know Conor Ben fought Algieri and Errol fought Algieri. Maybe that's what I'm getting confused with. $20 seconds to go in this third round. Not really a good round from neither here. Again. I just don't know, man. It's an ugly fight right now. Ugly fight. She said Mandela. Addicted J said he got hurt. You could tell he really trying to back Shorty with that interviewed him in the back. That's funny. Yeah, aside his aggression, I like Valdez so far in this fight. I'm not impressed with I'm not what's his name? Angeletti. I'm not impressed with him so far in this fight. He's not really doing anything to make him. It's anybody's fight right now. You know, I don't know how the judges scored those 3 rounds. I think Valdez definitely should have had the second. I think the first and third are not really clear. But what is Angeletti doing here? He's not showing much of an inside game here. But you know what? I will say this. Valdez is doing a lot of punching and holding. You know, he'll come in punch, he'll come in throw a punch or two, and then he holds. And he's holding like right now. The ref gotta say something because he's holding the back of Angeletti's head and throwing punches with the free. Like a lot of dirty tactics, but the ref is not saying anything from either. And now you got Angeletti just throwing his whole body on top of him, pushing him down. The ref is not saying anything. And this is why this fight is going this way because the ref is not. They're mostly wrestling. It's an ugly fight. Not many clean punches from either, but Valdez is throwing more for sure. Nice job to the body, Angeletti. Another good jab. Good jab from Angeletti. Backed him up for a second. Good hook from Valdez. Another hook from Valdez. Angeletti, he responds, and they're tied up. Tell these guys to stop holding. Keep it clean. Say something to them. Good overhand right from Valdez, and Angeletti shakes his head. Good jab, Angeletti. Good jab. Where's the uppercut, man? Where's the uppercut when he's timing and he's lunging in with his head up like that? Where's the uppercut? It's there. All right, just over 30 to go in this fourth round. Better round for Angeletti for sure. Good sweeper left hook. Raised them, but it was a good shot. Another jab to the body lands for Angeletti. Better round for him. The second half of this round. Valdez is just coming in, lunging in, throwing wide hooks. Nice getting out of the way. Good defense, good legs, good movement. I want to see him make this guy pay. I don't want him to just move. That's what I want to see. Main events, next fight, Hurd, Rosario. All right. Fifth round coming up. I believe this is a 10 rounder. All right. Again, main events, next fight. I think the next fight that we get, next big fight we get is Inoue and Doheny. That's early, I think first week of September. So I'll definitely be going live. It's going to be like an early Tuesday. But you know how the fights over there in Japan. You know, I have to be up at 4 in the morning. So I'll be up. I'll be up for that fight. But I think that's the next time I'm probably going to go live for a fight at least. Okay. All right, so we're in the fifth round. Angeletti's looking a little better. At least he's getting out of the way of these lunging hooks by Valdez. He's like he's getting the rhythm down a little bit. You know, I want to see more from him offensively, but at least he's getting out of the way of Valdez, and he's using his legs a little bit more in this last round. He hit him on a break. Valdez hit him on a break. He's getting his, you know, he's moving and he's getting out of the way. I like what I'm seeing a little bit. Again, I still want to see him let his hands go a little bit more. But yeah. What's going on? Valdez is frustrated because he's moving. Good check left foot lands for Angeletti. Valdez starting to get frustrated here. Ref, try to control these two. That's what you're in there for. Let's get a clean fight, man. Yeah, Valdez fights a lot similar to like old Sean Porter. Likes to ambush a lot, but not really effective with it. Ooh, good right hand to the body and right hook over the top. Lands for Valdez. Still anybody's fight to me, man. Still anybody's fight. That's a close round. Angeletti, I felt like he was doing better in the early part of it, but Valdez, not a lot of, you know, fights like this, not a lot of clean punches from neither fighter. Brown says, thank you, Boxingwave, for putting me onto Hajime no Ippo. Absolutely. It's on, I see that it's on Netflix right now. If you can find a way to watch the episodes after that, because the Netflix only shows you the series that was it did the English voiceovers and stuff like that. Like there's a couple more seasons after that that is even better to me, you know, or some of it is even better. Great anime. You know, if you're in, I mean, some people are not into anime at all, but if you like it a little bit and you guys obviously love boxing, you're definitely gonna love that show. They're definitely gonna love that show, you know. So if you can watch the episodes that came out after, it's even better, you know. And the story continues with the manga. The manga is way past the anime. I didn't get through all of the manga, but the anime is good. All right. I like Angeletti starting to let his hands go a little bit more here, opening up this sixth round here. I like it. I want to see a good fight here. Valdez he's definitely gonna let his hands go anyway. Yeah, that show is, well, the American name is Fighting Spirit, but the Japanese name is Hajime no Ippo. And again, if you guys like boxing, there's a lot of boxing history, especially with the American boxers. They show a lot of love to, you know, the Hitman. I think Mike Tyson. It bring up a lot of like real fighters in the anime, you know. So I think it's pretty dope. So look up the anime, watch it. It's on Netflix. You know, if you have Netflix, is on there. You know. Good shot to the body from Valdez. Nice work. He's better on the inside, man. Him just being rough, physical, goes to the body more. He's just better on the inside of me. Angeletti's just not that good on the inside. I mean, he's done a decent job defending himself, and he's trying to fight back here. Cool. Ooh, he caught him with a good right hand and forced Valdez, though. to hold. Good shot. And another one. And another one. Oh, oh, oh. Best action for Angeletti in this fight so far. Closing out that 6th round strong. What's good, my bro? The great is in the building. What's good with you, bro? Nah, it's not a strange day. I think you know, again, Probox picking up a lot of former fighters, you know, to try to get the buzz going. And to be honest, some of these cards have been very, very good. I don't think there's anything wrong with like putting 2 champions, even though they're definitely past it. Um, you know, like if they were to put George Foreman and Larry Holmes or something like that in there right now, I would be disappointed. But I'm cool with this. You know, I mean, I would prefer this fight than watching Floyd fight Gotti the third for a second time. So I'm happy. I'm good, you know, and I've been trying to get on here for these pro box cards for a minute. We've seen some really, really good fights on this card. So I'm cool with this. But yeah, like one of you guys said earlier, I have Hurd winning the fight, but I don't think it means anything as far as like the top tier fighters at 160. You know, I don't think it's really, it doesn't really mean that they're gonna be like champions in the future or anything. I definitely don't think. I think it's past it, the both of them. But you never know, you know. Good shot from Angeletti. Angeletti is starting to really let his hands go a lot more. I like it. And he's landing some good shots here. And you know, I don't know, maybe his corner told him, like, yo, these fights are real, you know, these rounds are really iffy, but we're in the second half of the fight, and Angeletti's letting his hands go, and he's landing some good, clean shots now. Valdez, you can just tell in his body language, like he's being more defensive, keeping his hands up now. He doesn't like it. He was definitely buzzed by one of those shots in the last round. All right, we're almost halfway through the 7th. This is a 10 rounder here, and the main event is in the very next fight. If you're just joining us, I've been waiting for him to wake up. Valdez is definitely he's being a lot more patient. Oh, I like the feints from Angela. Nice feints. Good check hook. And Valdez lunges in and ties up. Watch the head. Yeah, he's leading with his head a lot. He's been doing that all fight. I'm glad the ref finally said something to him. Watch the low shot. There was a low blow in that exchange there from Valdez. Oh my God. Do I watch Baki? I've been watching Baki since the original, like the OVA, the movie. I've been watching that, and that's one of the few that I've read the actual manga as well. So I'm a big fan of Baki, and I do watch it on Netflix. I actually have the DVD set of the old series in storage. But are you guys watching Kengan Ashura on Netflix? That show is crazy. If you like Baki, I hate to say it, but I actually like the Kengan series fights. The fights I think is better than Baki. Very similar. Um, but yeah, I like the Kengan the Shora fight. The season 3 just came out last week, and I watched the whole thing in like a day. The crossover was terrible. Oh, I'm not. The crossover was bad. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it. It was rushed. I actually thought when it was coming out that it was going to be a mini series. The fact that they made it like an hour film was whack. But Kengan season 3, I don't know if you guys watched it, but it's over. It's over now. But that tournament was fire. Those last few fights were really, really good. And that's coming from a huge Baki fan. I've been a Baki, like Kenyan when it first came out, was like, this is cool, but I like Baki, similar characters, they look alike. But I'm a hardcore fan now of it. I even started reading some of the manga. So if you haven't watched that on Netflix, that's a must watch right now. Like I really enjoyed watching that show. I like I like anime, but I like anime with good fights. So it was weird. It was good. I just finished watching that a couple of days ago, and I've been actually rewatching some of the fights these last few days. Good uppercut from Angeletti. Backs up. Yeah, Valdez was buzzed by that. Valdez is on the ropes. He was buzzed by it. Angeletti's over him. We might get a knockdown, y'all. He's not hitting him clean, but Valdez lunges in and holds him. He's definitely buzzed by a shot. And Angeletti is going off now. He's been going off since the 6th round, and he's really taking over this fight now. He's been different since the 6th round. He has Valdez on the ropes again, just beating his body right now. He turned into a whole different fighter 2 rounds ago. Ref got to tell him to watch his head, though. Another body shot from Angeletti. Ref is watching very close. I mean, Valdez definitely has been buzzed a couple of times, but I don't think he's on the brink of getting stopped. Every time he gets hurt, he holds. He's definitely hurt, but I think we may see a knockdown or a standing 8 count. I don't see him getting knocked out yet. 30 seconds to go in the 8th. If Angeletti could pull off a stoppage, it'd be pretty good. A lot of flashiness for Angeletti. Just get the job done, bro. All right, he looks like he's going to go another round, yeah. Yeah, he definitely took over this fight. Yeah, I think right now, there's another show on Netflix though I watch, and it's also a fighting anime. I just can't think of it. It was very, very good though. It's more realistic than Kengan and Baki. I'm gonna find it for you guys right now because I had just watched it maybe like 2 months ago, and it should probably still be on my list of shows. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure some of you might have seen it. Oh, damn. I can't find it. All right, so I had it in my favorites. I don't see it on there now. All right, I'll get it for you guys when I get a chance. But it was like an MMA type anime that's more realistic than what we've seen, like from Kengan and Baki and all that. Come on, man. Prime Mike Tyson against Usyk. Prime Mike. Mike, man. Going with Mike. Yeah. All right, so we're in the 9th round. We got one more to go after this. One of Angeletti's is going to go to cruise controls. Are you going to try to stop Valdez here? Seems to be taking it easy so far in this 9th round. Oh, there we go. There you go with the power. Valdez has just been struggling to land the second half, man. Nice body shot from Angeletti's, just punched him back to the body again. I also think Valdez slowed down probably after the 4th round, 5th round. He just threw a wild overhand right that missed. One if Angeletti, I think Angeletti still might be trying to go for it. See, I wish when they were fighting on the inside early in the early rounds, his coach must have told him something because he caught him hurt. Is he hurt? Yeah, I think he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. He's forced to hold again. I think he's trying to get him out. He might get him out at the end of this 9th round. If he was fighting like that on the inside earlier, maybe because Valdez was so fired up. But he's been pretty battered for the last few rounds. If Angeletti was fighting like that earlier, he would have looked a lot more impressive earlier. But now he's been battering him in this last few rounds now. Yeah, it's a letdown. It's a letdown, Monroe. I started this live talking about that. I'm definitely going to do a separate video talking about it as well. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to sit here and cry over, fights that we should be getting. At the end of the day, I'm just going to cover the fights that we're getting. That's all I can really do. I can't just keep sitting here talking about, what fights that we should be getting and who's at fault, because I can make content every day on that. We can sit here and make content every day on fights that should be happening that we're not getting. And I'm not going to do it. It is what it is. I don't know. Again, I'm sure Shakur being on that card is going to be good as far as I'm sure he's getting paid. Eddie probably gave him this opponent because it's going to be someone that he has a high chance of knocking out, since he just got knocked out by another fighter. But who knows, man? Cordina might actually come in stronger. He's going to be moving up. He wasn't a small guy at 130, so maybe he's going to be stronger at the division, but I don't think it really matters, because Joe Cordina is not a pressure fighter. He's a good, boxer, but Shakur's levels are above him. So who knows, man? I don't like the fight. I don't want to see it, but I'm gonna watch it because it's Shakur, and I enjoy watching Shakur fight. But he's not a knockout artist, but I think he will be getting a stoppage that night against Cordina. Just where do you go from there, though, after that? Where do you go? I don't know. Valdez is throwing some low blows again. I mean, no one's saying anything about it. Is it me or are those shots above the waistband? Because it just looks like they're low. This fight is going the distance, man. Just over a minute left. Main event coming up. Okay, the show that I was telling you guys, I found it. It's called Garuden, The Way of the Lone Wolf. I watched it just once. It's just one season. It's not that long. Very, very good anime. If you are into like martial arts and stuff, I think it's very, very good. It's short, but it's good. I watched it a couple months ago on Netflix. So if you're into Baki and Kengan, Ashura, and all that, or even Ippo, if you're into those kind, I think you'll enjoy that. Especially if you're into the MMA stuff. All right, fight's over, y'all. Fight's over. I think Angeletti cleared the second half for sure. But check out Garuden. It's a really good show. I think you're gonna like it, especially if you like the other two. I think it's good. Yeah, Boots and Karen rematch came out of nowhere, man. It's the fact that he is the mandatory is ridiculous, And right now, I actually think 147 is a little weak right now. It's weak compared to what we know it to be. It's a little weak for what we know it to be. But we could still get some good unifications. Because you got new title holders, you got Boots, you got Mario Barrios, you got Brian Norman Jr., you got Imantis Stanionis. You got some good fighters, man. We got good fights. And if Conor Ben, I think that's what Eddie is going for on the low. I don't know how long this suspension and this whole licensing thing goes with Conor Ben, but if they could find a way to work that out, and if they could have a Conor Ben fight, I still feel like, even though they're both Matchroom now, I still feel like they would make Chris Eubank and Conor Ben before making Conor Ben and Jaron Ennis. I still think that they want to make their money from that fight. Because when the fight was officially announced and it was going to go down, it had sold a lot of tickets. And the buzz for that fight was huge. You know what I mean? So I still feel like, I know there are people talking about Conor Ben and Jaron Ennis and stuff. Yeah, cool. I think Conor Ben is better at 147. He don't belong at 154. 97-93. 92. Yeah, I think that's about right. That's cool. 97, 93, 98, 92. I think Valdez won 2 or 3 of those first 5 rounds. So I think they got it right. I think it's fair. 2 or 3 of those first rounds he won. After that, after the 5th round, Angeletti just left Earth and destroyed him for most of those rounds. Yeah, but I hope Conor Ben gets back in the mix at 147. Excuse me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the easiest fight to make at 147 as far as the champions is Stanionis and Barrios, since they're both PBC. At the very least, make that fight. Make it They need to get these cards going, man, because they're just going too long with this Amazon. Like, we're just not getting enough cards for them over there, man. And there's still a lot of fighters that signed there. Um, Hopefully they get it together, whatever happens. Because there's some fights I really want to see. I still want to see what Stanionis could do. You know, we missed out on a Virgil Ortiz fight with him. And then he was like the WBA like regular champ or the mandatory for a minute. Because we're talking all the way back. Stanionis should have been he should have had a title shot since Ugas and Pacquiao fought. I mean, that's how far back we're talking. Because there was a whole mix-up with the WBA and all their stupid titles that they had. So I want to see what Stanionis could do. You know, I want to see Boots. If he's going to stay at 147, you know, if he's going to stay there, there's no other business there except Unify. You know, unless you can get like a Ryan Garcia fight, there's no other business there at 147. You know, is either Unify or go up because there's no big names there. So if you're going to do it for history purposes, get those unifications in, you know, but if not, there's no names. Like Crawford's not there no more. Spencer's not there no more. You know, Ryan and Devin Haney and those guys are hovering around 140. You know, and I mean, one thing about Eddie is that Eddie's gonna make the fights happen. I think that fight in Philly was good. That was great. I'm glad I went. Because I say this with all these fighters, especially these guys that's creating a buzz for themselves. Let them fight at home, just like Crawford was fighting in Omaha. Let them fight at home so they could get a huge gate. You know, Shakur Stevenson in Newark. Let these guys fight at home. And then once they create a big buzz and they're able to at least sell out at home, like start moving them around. But Boots got better opportunities at 54, but it's a lot more dangerous at 54. You know, clearly Crawford and Virgil Ortiz. Well, I don't think Virgil won the fight. All right, but Crawford won, but it was a hard fight. So, you know, these guys, Boots know, and I'm sure his team know. Like, I've said this to you guys before on the channel. If Boots is going to stay at 147, let these fighters at 154. And I'm talking, this is like promoter wave right now talking. This is not boxing fan wave. If Boots is going to stay at 47, unify at 47. If not becoming undisputed, go for undisputed. But if you can't, at least unify 2 or 3 of the belts. By the time you do that, 54, there'll be some consolidation. There'll be some unifications. You won't have to go through all of the top fighters at 54. By that time, someone is going to be holding multiple belts. And maybe your first, if not your first fight up at 54, but maybe by your second fight at 54, you can get a title shot and it could possibly be a unification match. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know. But going to 54 and just going through the rankings and literally fighting everyone for is tough. If you can still make weight at 47, which it seems like he can, at least unify. You know, if you don't become undisputed, at least at the very least unify. But there's no names at 47 like that. Except Conor Benn. I think Conor Benn is probably the biggest name and the biggest draw at 47. But Conor Benn is not a big draw in America at all. So if Conor Benn continues to keep fighting here in America, I mean, y'all might as well have a fight in Philly. You know? Or at least, or maybe go to Saudi Arabia if you're not licensed to fight in the UK, you know? So that's the way I see it. All right, so main event is coming up soon. He's just waiting for them to come out. Man, I'm hungry, man. I'm eating. As soon as I get off this, I'm heating up some food immediately. I'm starving, man. Well, Boots, Beth, yeah, Boots said he's going to stay at 47. So this is why, everybody's talking about Crawford and Boots. The man said it himself that he's going to stay at 47. So if that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to do. Guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to go to the bathroom, just quick bathroom break before this fight starts. All right, be right back. All right, I'm back. I believe both fighters are in the ring. I think I got hurt by stoppage, but I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking like maybe 7 rounds, 8 rounds. This is a 10-round fight. So I got hurt by stoppage. I'm thinking like 7th round. I think that's 7, 8 round. That's where I'm going with this fight. Jojo Diaz and Walters, is that an official fight? You talking about Nicholas Walters, right? Because Nicholas Walters just won a fight. I seen him fight recently. He won a good fight. I can't remember who it was against. Jojo's been taking loss after loss, man. And I always say this, like, I just don't think Jojo. I mean, I think he's too small for 135. but he's been fighting over 135. You know, he's been fighting like roughly around 440, where he really doesn't belong. Yeah, okay, I did watch that fight against with Nicholas Walters. I didn't watch it live though. I think I watched it like afterwards. All right. It's crazy, man. Remember when Charlo, Hurd, J Rock, Williams, you know, like remember when these guys were like at the top, man? Jamal Charlo too, because he was at 154 first. Round one. Now I remember from what I remember from Hurd. Good jab from Hurd. I remember from Hurd that he used to kind of start out slow. And then, you know, he'll fight like how he is now. Like he'll fight a rangy fight behind the jab. And then out of nowhere, right, he'll just turn it up and start walking you down and giving punishment while receiving it too. But he always kind of started out like this, where he's just working a jab. And he's looks good right now. So far, it looks sharp. Great jab, good speed too. But he's on the back foot right now. I don't think Bananas landed anything yet so far in this fight. Rosario, one thing about Rosario, he has punch. He has a huge punch that can just change the fight quickly. So Hurd is definitely controlling the fight right now with just his jab alone. But his jab looked good, man. It looks quick, looks sharp so far. Sorry, I was having a hard time getting past that jab so far. Good 1-2 to the body from Hurd. About 45 seconds to go in the first. All Hurd so far. Rosario's trying to step in a little bit more with his jab, but he just caught another jab to the face. Good jab again from Hurd. And these jabs are powerful, man. He's definitely backing up Rosario with these jabs and the feints, too. He's making them bite on feints. He's changing levels. I like it so far. Good boxing from Hurd for this first round. Clear round. It's that reach, too, bro. That reach is an issue. Round one, clear round one for Hurd so far. I think Virgil is going to be dangerous for anyone still. Listen, it was a good fight. I obviously don't think he won the fight, but I'm not like trying to say like he's easy smoke for anybody. I'm not stupid. I think Madrimov and Bochuk, and even Bakram, he's going to be fighting Tim Zhu. You can't sleep on nobody at 154, man. It is what it is. It's always been that way, bro. It's not going to change. You can't sleep on none of these fighters. Because Bochuk could go on and destroy someone that's really good in his very next fight. Or Bohachuk might get sparked out in his very next fight by a random person. You know what I mean? But we're in the second round here, and Hurd still on the back foot, but he's just connecting continuously with his jab. I mean, he's punishing Rosario with his jab so far in this fight. He's barely let the right hand go. Okay, Rosario did step in with a couple jabs now. Now he's starting to be a little bit more aggressive now. Threw a right hand. Hurd ducked underneath it. Hurd's in the corner right now. Rosario lands a jab. He's starting to open up now. Rosario is coming in, throwing combinations. Hurd is getting out of the way from most of them, but it's just now starting to change the pace of the fight. And now Hurd is starting to walk forward a little bit. So what does Rosario do here? Be aggressive? Just try to make does Rosario try to go to war with Hurd? You know, like who favors in that? Because now Hurd is starting to open up now too. Is he better off just trying to catch Hurd with it in exchange because he has power? Or I don't know now, because now Hurd is starting to walk forward and now he's being a little bit more aggressive. I'm not sure how Rosario wins. I don't know if he waits for a counter-punching moment or does he fight and try to go to war with Hurd and land something that could hurt Hurd. It's a good round. Hurd is still in control of this fight, though. Good right hand from Hurd. Rosario's been in range a lot more in this second round than he was in the first. But Hurd is still in control of the fight so far. 30 seconds to go in the second round. Good jabs from Hurd, man. His jab has been solid. Stabbing him to the body as well. Like, damn. Oh, Rosario connected with a good left hook. Hurd caught him, connected with a good, two good right crosses to end the round. I have it 2-0 for Hurd. What's up, Maker? What's good, man? What's good? To be honest, Smooth Will, I just saw your comment. I've seen Hurd fight this fight. You know, I don't think he's revamping anything. I've seen him fight this fight when I started watching him. It wasn't until the Tony Harrison fight where I think he just started going full blown pressure fighter. You know, once he started being just a straight pressure fighter, volume puncher against Harrison, against Trout, against Lara, that's when he started taking too much damage. But yeah, I think Hurd he's fighting like the way he was fighting against Galarza back when I had seen him for the first time. This is the way he boxed in that fight. I mean, I'm sure it's on YouTube. I wonder how Frank is doing too. I actually met Frank and was cool with him for a while because I met him at a fight. We actually were sitting next to each other. I actually met Marcus Brown the same way, and that's how we got cool. Both fighters. Well, Marcus Brown is from Staten Island, but Frank is from Brooklyn. And we were just sitting by each other at a fight, and I knew who he was already. We was just talking boxing during the night. It's been a while since I don't know if he's boxing anymore. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, Hurd can fight this kind of fight. But how long does he continue doing it? And how durable is he? You know, now that the fight is no longer a rangy fight, Hurd is taking more jabs than he was the first 2 rounds. And it's starting to become a little bit more even now in this third round. Sorry. Hurd is actually taking a lot of jabs from Rosario as opposed to the first 2. Is Hurd going to start switching and changing and becoming more aggressive? Because now he's taking a lot of punishment, but he's not throwing that much still. This is not the fight he wants. If he's going to go and be in range with Jeison, he needs to let his hands go and start just overwhelming him with volume like he used to. But if he's just going to be in range just to just take punishment and not throw enough, that's where he loses, you know? All right, about 40 seconds to go in the third. Ooh, nice combination from Hurd. Caught him with a good right hand. Hurd's back in control. Rosario's starting to take unnecessary punishment now. Rosario's in range and his hands are down. He's just taking some big shots now from Hurd. I think Rosario got his blade connected with 2 jabs and bloodied Hurd's nose. Best round in the fight from both. Well, for Rosario for sure. I don't know if he won the round. Hurd might have stolen the round in that last minute or so. But good round. A lot of action in that round, and both of these guys took some punishment in this round. Fight is pretty good so far. You know, I know these guys got beaten up, but they're still performing good. I mean, I'm not too sure about Rosario, but I mean, Hurd is still looking somewhat like himself. All right, round 4. I'm giving, excuse me. I think I'm giving Hurd the third. I just think he's barely did enough to secure the round. But it was a close round because Rosario was definitely winning the first half of that round. Hurd came out in the 4th round, very aggressive now. Now he's putting a lot of power and he's throwing combinations now. And now he's in range here. I think he's looking to go to war. And this is how we've seen him in the past. Start out slow, use the jab, be rangy, move a little bit. But now he's shoulder rolling. He's countering, rolling and countering, doing combinations. Let's see how this round play out here. Some good jabs here from Rosario as well in this round. Remember, he bloodied Hurd's nose in the last round with a jab. So good uppercut from Rosario. Good overhand right from Rosario. Catches Hurd. And he landed a left hook to the body. Hurd got to keep the volume up if he's going to fight. If he's going to fight and be on the inside, he got to let his hands go. Good jab from Rosario. Good jab, Rosario. Rosario's really winning the jab war now that they're in the inside. That mid-range jab is giving Hurd some issues. But Hurd still appears to be very relaxed through all of this. Good exchanges from both here. Hurd is starting to pick up the volume again. Now he's popping his jab again. Now he's coming back. This is the second round in a row where it's been a back and forth round. Hurd landing a clean uppercut. Hurd starting to look like himself again here. Just about 30 seconds to go in the fourth. Uppercut from Hurd. Good left hand from Rosario. I think I'm gonna give Rosario that round. He was just better for a longer period of time that round, but Hurd seems to be more relaxed. You know, it's like when he picks it up, he gets it going, he goes. Rosario, there's some points, even though Rosario, I gave him a round, it seemed like he was slowing down a little bit towards the end of the round. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because he knew the round was almost over, but I think he did enough to win the round. I mean, Hurd was just not consistent enough in that round. So I have a 3-1 so far for Hurd. What's up, Jaden, man? I think Hurd is going to win. You know, I think Hurd is going to get a second half of the fight knockout. But right now, I have it 3-1 for Hurd. And then a fight that I still think is anybody's fight. But Hurd is winning to me. Fifth round. Good jab from Hurd to start off this fifth. Good uppercut from Hurd. Good uppercut to the body from Hurd. Oh, Rosario caught him with an uppercut. Good jabs from Rosario. I don't see the volume from Hurd. He has his moments. He's fighting in spurts. It's probably because he's 33 now and have been in so many wars. You know, he's trying to be a pressure fighter, but you're not active. You're older. There's moments. There's certain points where he looks like his older self, but his younger self. But it's just like certain moments of each round. All right, a little body battle here between these two. Jeison's coming forward though. Hurd is back on the back foot. Two short right hands landed for Hurd. Overhand right from Rosario that puts Hurd outside the ring, but not a knockdown. More like just balance. He crouched too low and fell through the rope. Nice hook from Rosario. 45 seconds left in the fifth round. Not a clear round. Jeison's saying something to him. Overhand right from Jeison again. Hurd lands a hook. Jarrett Hurd's coming right back. Another close round, man. Another close round. This probably the hardest round to score for me. This close round, man. They're like even in this round. It's like when Hurd is going again, when when Hurd is going again, he looks good, but he's not giving me enough of it in the round. Rosario is like again another round where he's more consistent. Hurd had probably some good moments in that round, but it was another round where Rosario was more consistent, you know. Hurd is fighting in spurts. Rosario is more consistent. Back and forth round. I think this round can go either way. I'm probably gonna give it to Rosario, but it can go either way. It really could. It's a close round. I think that was the closest round. If you guys got Hurd, I'm cool with it. No one's been hurt yet, though. No one's been. I wouldn't even say anyone got really buzzed yet. There's been some good shots. I want to say the last two rounds, though. I think they're starting to really land some heavier shots, but no one's been like hurt yet. You know, I say Rosario got a little bit more damage on his face. His face is a little more swollen. But her definitely got some swelling underneath his eyes and around his nose as well, but nothing major though. Like no one's eye is closed or anything like that. But we reached the halfway point in this fight. I have it 3-2 for her. Hurt's going back to fighting behind a jab and fighting rangy again. Rosario's trying to close the distance now. When Hurd keeps his back on the ropes, that's when Rosario starts to connect with some jabs. Overhand right from Rosario, blocked by Hurd. Rosario needs to throw that hook when Hurd is leaning to his right, you know, looking to roll. He needs to throw that hook a lot more. Good combination from Rosario land. It's just over a minute left in the six. Another overhand right lands from Rosario here. Oh, another one from Rosario. Rosario, I feel like he's starting to come back. He's found a home with that overhand right. He's landed about 4 of them in his round alone. And Hurd is not really no answer from Hurd. He's just trying to defend. Hurd is getting clobbered this round. Uh-oh. Hurd takes a strong jab. Uppercut. No, oh, no. Jeison is winning right now. This is the most dominant anyone has been in a fight so far. It's not a good look for Jarrett Hurd. Not a good look. Now he's pot shot and moving. Wow. I have it 3-3, y'all. You know, it could be 4-2. But that was definitely the best round from either fighter. And the momentum is going into Jeison's favor, in my opinion. I think he's just been a little better the last 3 rounds. He's connected with all of those overhand rights he threw in his last round. Yeah, that's the clearest round of the fight, in my opinion. Big shots. All right, right, round 7, I believe, and I have it 3-3, and it's anybody's fight right now. Jarrett Hurd, I mean, just looking at his face, he's definitely got some swelling in that left eye from that last round with the amount of overhand rights he caught. But he's coming back out with the jab to see what he does. But he's taking some damage a little bit from them right hands last round. Ooh, good right hand from Hurd. Very quick. Didn't fully connect on it, but it was a good shot. So there's a point where like Hurd comes out the first minute, he's doing all these jabs, he's moving, and then Rosario just starts wailing on him. Rosario's landing a couple of jabs to the body. Hurd, nice right hand from Hurd. Hurd is still pot shotting though, no pressure from him. Uppercut for Rosario. Hurd is not doing enough. This is not the fight that's going to win him the fight. Another overhand right from Rosario. Hurd needs to let his hands go. Not pot shotting. He's not going to win a fight this way. Good combination from Hurd lands. Just over a minute left. Rosario's not doing enough this round. There are opportunities there, but he's not letting his hands go like the way he was in the last round. Good jabs from Rosario. Hurd's just back to just using that jab. Good right hand again from Hurd in the center of the ring here. It's opening up a little bit. Nice. Nice work from Hurd. Rosario counters, lands a big left hook to the body of Hurd, backs him up. Now Rosario's starting to open up. He lands another overhand right. Oh, good short right hand lands for Hurd, and Rosario responds with overhand right again to finish out this round. Good round. Close round. I thought Hurd did enough to win, though. Rosario had his moments, but he was a lot slower that round. Hurd was in control for longer. Adewale, what's up, bro? I have it 4-3. I'm sorry, 4-3 for Hurd. 4-3. Close, another close round, but I thought Hurd took it. Shout out to you guys for being here tonight. You know, it's a light card. It's a Wednesday. But you know, shout out to you guys for being here anyway, man. Shout out to Probox too for even, you know, putting this together on a Wednesday. All right. We're in round 8. I have it 4-3 for Hurd. Oh boy. Excuse me. Didn't J-Rock fight at 162? Maybe he comes back and fight the winner of these two. I don't know if he's still fighting now, but I know he had lost to Vladimir. All right. Start off this 8th round. Rosario's definitely the aggressive this first minute of the 8th round. Nothing much from Hurd yet. Not even a jab. He's been taking it easy this round so far. Lands a nice right cross though. But Rosario's been more active this round compared to the last. Rosario got him back to the ropes. Tags him with an overhand right. Nice combos from Rosario. All Rosario so far. Just over a minute left in this 8th round. And it's been all Rosario again this round. Hurd is just not letting his hands go enough this round. He's probably taking the round off. He had a more active round. I want to say a big round, but a more active 7th round. But now he's starting to open up a little bit with just a minute left. Big left hook from her, buzzed Rosario. Watch the head, ref. Watch the head from Rosario. One thing I noticed about Rosario, he's way more active this round by far. It's not sitting down on punches though. There's not a lot of power like I remember seeing him, in older fights. Jarrett being very slippery, but offensively, he's not doing enough. I got Rosario in the 8th. I have it back 4-4. This is a draw to me so far, guys. This is a draw to me. No one's really commanding the fight to me. Depending how this fight goes, both of them are fighting the spurts. I would not be surprised if this ends up being a draw. But like I said prior to the fight starting, even for the winner, I don't really know where they belong in at 160. Oh, look, yeah, anytime, man. I'm still mad at this past weekend. I didn't put money down on the Arslan Bet fight, man. I was talking about it, but I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. Scared last week. Should have did it, All right, we're in 9, man, and I have it a draw, man. I don't know. These guys, somebody has to do something to separate themselves from the other fighter. I don't have no money on this. I'm just a fan at this point. I just want the right guy to win. And both are gassed. But Hurd is I'm just trying to figure out where we're going with this. Zario's winning this 9th round so far, though. He's connecting with the cleaner shots so far. I was saying a minute ago, Rosario, not putting a lot of power down. It's mainly because a lot of these punches that he's landing are slapped. And that's why there's not too much damage. Outside a little bit of swelling, that's why Rosario is not hurting him because there's a lot of slaps. But Hurd is coming back heavy here in this 9th round. He landed a good amount of shots in that sequence in the last 15 seconds or so. But Rosario's right back at it, man. Good uppercut, good body shots from Hurd. Now Rosario's on the back foot. Hurd is going straight. He's continuing to the body. Crowd is getting into it. I mean, he should have been doing that. I mean, that's what Jamel stopped him with. Just been headhunting. 40 seconds to go. They're both gas. There was a long pause there, or they just stood at each other and just looked clean right across from her. They're both gas. Very gas. Yeah, last 20 seconds, slow. But I got Hurd. Hurd did enough that round. Rosario started good, but Hurd and after the first minute, Hurd was the better fighter to me. I have 5-4. I gave a swing round to Rosario already, at least one that I thought was a swing round. This could be a draw, man. I don't know how these judges are looking at this fight. I don't know. I just hope that whatever way they got it, it's not a wide, a decision. But I have it 5-4 for her. At the very, very absolute least, I think both fighters have at least secured 3 rounds to me. At the very least. Like both have at least 3 clear rounds. But there's a couple of swing rounds in there. So this could be a draw. All right. Depending on how this last round go. They gotta fight. They gotta let it all go, man. They gotta let it all go, bro. All right. A lot of rabbit punches there. Rosario's is at this point, he's the aggressor this round. He hasn't really landed anything clean yet. They're both tired, man. And it's we saw it in the last round. Nice jab from Rosario. Uppercut from Hurd. They got to go for it, man. They're not going for it yet. Oh, good chopping right hand lands for Rosario. But again, got to turn those punches over, man. Hurd is more holding. He got an uppercut in there, but good combination. See, these are the moments where Hurd come back and steal rounds. Because he has these moments where he comes in and he starts landing some clean combinations. But I think Rosario so far is running around. Big left hand from Hurd. But Rosario caught him and Hurd his back to the corner. Rosario is going for it. He's pushing harder, man. He's pushing a little bit harder than Hurd. Overhand right from Rosario. Hurd ties up. These guys are like dead and even, man. I think it should be a draw. No 1-1. Unless something happens right now. 25 seconds ago. Something needs to happen. This is a draw. Ten seconds ago, Hurd. That's a draw. That's a draw for me, y'all. I have a 5-5. I have a 5-5. That's it. No one won that fight to me. These two are dead even, you know. I didn't even think about the draw possibility of one. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys got? Hurd, UD. Jamin says draw. Ralph has it Rosario. I don't know, man. I really believe no one did enough to win. I liked Hurd better in the earlier rounds, especially the way he started. But there was no change. You know, after the first 3 rounds, he just started fighting in spurts. He's not the fighter he was no more, and neither is Jeison. Jamin, no, I haven't. I haven't, you know. I can tell you that in the last couple years, I've been leaning a little bit towards better BF. But we're just talking the last couple of years. In the beginning, I was leaning towards Bivol. You know, I've switched in between. I don't know. You know, I remember doing a very long breakdown earlier this year. You know, nothing's happened since then. Well, Bivol did fight, and I liked how he looked in his last fight. You know, I'm going for Bivol though. I like Bivol. I like them both, but I want Bivol to win as a fan. But I don't know. We go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Joe Richard scores this down 96 to 94 in favor of Jarrett. 96-94 Hurd. Judge Michael Ross scores this down 96 to 94 in favor of Jeison. Draw. Rosario. Split draw. 96-94 Rosario. 95. It's a draw. It's a draw, man. It's a draw, guys. Don't be mad. Draw. Nobody did enough to win. No one won the fight. I hate when I don't make money on draw, yo. That was an easy one, man. I should have. You gotta always throw the draw in the mix when these 2 guys are just past it. I'm not mad. Good scores. Yeah, I should have put money on that one, man. I didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind. You know, I was too much thinking about when they were both in their primes. I went with a guy that was better in his prime. Instead of thinking that, well, they're both way past their prime. Maybe they just, you know, no one won though. And that's not even like no one legit won the fight to me. You know, I know a couple of you guys got it, but if you guys got one of them winning, it's like probably like 6-4. You know what I mean? You probably just went with somebody on the swing, you know? No one won. It's nothing to dispute. But you know, it's weird because if they don't retire, you know, who do you fight? Like 160 is not that good. Let me load this down. I'm gonna turn this off. They didn't interview them there. But you know, at the end of the day, 160 is dead, right? Like what do you do at this point? You know, because even though it's dead, I still feel like the top 10 guys will beat them both. So, like, what do you do? You know, what do you do? Yeah, I don't really know. Anyway, listen, it's always a pleasure just being on here with you guys. Um, we know that it was a you know, a light card, it's not a big card. Shout out to Probox for you were putting this on and doing the great work that they've been doing. Yeah, thanks guys for even being here tonight. Ralph, to answer your questions, Jojo and Walters, I don't know. I have to go back and look at that Walters fight, you know. Um, I have to go back and look at it. So I can't give you an answer right now. But anyway, you guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna get some food and I'm gonna hit the sheets. Y'all have a good night, man. I'm still gonna come back, do some content on Shakur Stevenson and all the other things that we addressed. But y'all have a good night and have a good weekend as well. The weekend's coming up. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.